put your top coat on, go for a little dance when you're on your run. When it's cold and wet outside, it's natural that some of us will want to skip a run. I'm Rick, and today on the Running Channel we're going to be giving you some tips about how to get out when it's miserable and cold outside. Don't forget to hit subscribe here on the Running Channel and you'll get notified when we upload videos just like this one. Think about what you're going to wear. If it's raining, it might not actually be that cold. Try to dress as if it's about 10 degrees warmer than it actually is. You'll warm up on the run itself. Now it might be that it is wet and it's also cold as well. In this case, you need to think about layering up, and I'm talking about base layers here underneath your top layer. Also gloves and a hat, but not like this one with a peak, so it actually keeps the rainwater out of your eyes as you're running. And talking about headgear, try to avoid, if you can, running in hoodies, as comfortable as it sounds, because the hoodie will restrict your peripheral vision. This makes it dangerous when you're crossing roads or towpaths. So give that a thought and check out our video here on what to wear when it's cold and wet outside. If you're working towards an event by doing certain speed sessions or have set time goals, it might be better to actually just jump on the treadmill instead. Or maybe even swap your sessions around that week, because running in the real wet, if it is pretty bad, is only going to slow you down a little. If you are planning to do some sprint sessions, you might want to reconsider too, and just moving those to a steady run or even more endurance work or longer reps. You might want to modify your stride when you're running on wet, slippery surfaces. Now it's all about being light on your feet and keeping an eye on the ground and what's coming up ahead of you. Being lighter and darting across puddles can really help with your concentration as you're heading along. It's a bit like if you're trail running too, looking out for those rocks and roots as you go along, just to avoid them. Speaking of looking where you're going, avoid deep puddles, because if you get wet feet, they're more likely to produce blisters. And actually, avoiding puddles, jumping over them, it's a bit of a distraction, especially if you're getting tired or feeling a little bit worn down. As for the socks you're wearing, well, try to wear ones that are actually as thin as possible, because they're less likely to take on a lot of water and drag you down. And wear some anti-chafe balm or some Vaseline. Wet clothes rub a lot more than dry ones. Take a look at the bottom of your regular running shoes. If they look too smooth, you might want to grab a different pair. Smooth-soled shoes make it more likely that you'll slip when you're running over. Look for shoes that have grooves in them of at least 1 millimeter. That way the water can actually run through them as you're running. If you wear shoes that are flat, when you're jumping around, it will actually change your biomechanics, and this makes injuries more likely, especially when it's cold. The next time you get an unfavorable forecast for an important workout, don't reschedule. Get it done, revise your expectations, and take some mental notes about what worked and what didn't. Life is not about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to run in the rain. See you next time on the Running Channel.